Quinnie Evans, a dedicated but overworked magazine editor for Urban Lens, finds herself racing through the crowded streets of Cosford. As deadlines loom and pressure mounts to save her struggling publication, Quinnie's life is a chaotic whirlwind. Balancing her high-profile career with her demanding boss's expectations has left her little time for personal connections, let alone romance. In the middle of a frenzied coffee run, Quinnie's day takes an unexpected turn. Distracted by her phone while juggling a tray of coffees, she accidentally bumps into Samuel Hart, a freelance photographer with a mysterious air about him. The collision sends hot coffee splashing onto Samuel's expensive camera. Furious yet composed, Samuel inspects the damage while Quinnie profusely apologizes, her words spilling out as quickly as her coffee had. Samuel's initial irritation softens when he notices Quinnie's earnestness. Despite his gruff demeanor, he offers a wry smile, teasing her about her chaotic energy. Flustered but intrigued, Quinnie rushes off to her next meeting, unaware that this brief encounter would change her life forever. Back at the Urban Lens office, Quinnie faces the mounting pressure of revamping the magazine. During an emergency editorial meeting, her boss demands innovative content to boost readership. Desperate for a breakthrough idea, Quinnie pitches a bold concept: a monthly column chronicling her experiences with different types of relationships, exploring the modern dating landscape. The room buzzes with excitement at the originality of her pitch, but Quinnie's enthusiasm quickly wanes when she realizes the challenge ahead. She must find her first boyfriend for the column. Just as she begins to panic, fate intervenes in the form of Samuel Hart. Later that day, while brainstorming ideas in a local art gallery, Quinnie spots Samuel photographing a vibrant mural. Emboldened by her desperation, she approaches him with her unconventional proposal to be her first feature subject for the column. Samuel is initially skeptical, viewing the idea as frivolous, but Quinnie's determination piques his curiosity. After some convincing and a promise to pay for his coffee-stained camera repairs, Samuel reluctantly agrees. Their partnership begins on shaky ground. Samuel is amused by Quinnie's obsessive need for control, while she finds his laid-back attitude exasperating. Yet, beneath their bickering lies an undeniable chemistry neither is ready to admit. To kick off the column, Quinnie and Samuel plan their first date. Samuel insists on taking the lead, wanting to showcase his authenticity to readers. He surprises Quinnie by inviting her to a lesser-known park on the outskirts of Cosford. Initially skeptical of the low-key venue, Quinnie's apprehension melts away as Samuel introduces her to the art of capturing candid moments with his camera. They spend the afternoon wandering through lush greenery, snapping photos of families, pets, and quirky parkgoers. Samuel's passion for storytelling through photography begins to resonate with Quinnie, who realizes there's more to life than her rigid schedules and meticulous planning. Over ice cream from a local vendor, Samuel opens up about his love for photography, sharing stories of his travels and the solace he finds behind the lens. Their time together is surprisingly enjoyable, and Quinnie finds herself laughing more than she has in months. By the end of the day, Samuel's candid photo of Quinnie laughing becomes the centerpiece of her first column entry. The experience leaves them both questioning whether their partnership is strictly professional or something more. As the first installment of the monthly boyfriend column goes live, it becomes an instant hit. Readers are captivated by Quinnie's witty narrative and Samuel's striking photography. The buzz around the column revitalizes the magazine, giving Urban Lens a much-needed boost. However, success brings new challenges. Quinnie's boss demands that she continue the column with fresh ideas, while Samuel begins to feel uneasy about the growing public attention. Their once playful banter becomes tinged with tension as they struggle to navigate their evolving relationship. Quinnie's perfectionism clashes with Samuel's carefree attitude, leading to heated arguments about creative control. Despite their differences, their shared goal of producing compelling content keeps them tethered. When Quinnie receives an invitation to a high-profile charity gala, she reluctantly invites Samuel as her date for the next column installment. The formal setting forces them to present a united front, leading to an unexpectedly romantic evening. Dressed in elegant attire, Samuel and Quinnie begin to see each other in a new light. Samuel, usually clad in casual clothes, looks dashing in a tailored suit, while Quinnie's confidence shines through her glamorous outfit. As they dance under the dim lights of the grand ballroom, their chemistry becomes undeniable. Yet, neither is willing to acknowledge the growing spark between them, fearing it might complicate their professional arrangement. By the end of the evening, their dynamic shifts subtly, leaving both of them questioning what lies ahead. Samuel's enigmatic smile as he drops Quinnie off at her apartment lingers in her mind, while Samuel himself wonders why he can't get Quinnie out of his thoughts. The charity gala becomes the backdrop for Quinnie and Samuel's next column installment. As they step into the grand hall of Cosford's historic Orchid Estate, Quinnie feels out of place in the opulent setting. Samuel, on the other hand, exudes effortless charm. He navigates the room with a quiet confidence, surprising Quinnie with his ability to engage with strangers and make them feel at ease. Quinnie struggles to balance her professional objectives with her increasing awareness of Samuel's magnetic presence. When a nosy journalist corners her about the authenticity of their relationship, Quinnie panics. Before she can respond, Samuel swoops in, slipping his arm around her and spinning a convincing tale about how they met. His improvisation is seamless, leaving Quinnie both impressed and unsettled by how natural their fabricated story feels. The evening takes a surprising turn when a live auction begins, with Samuel impulsively bidding on a photography book Quinnie had admired earlier. Despite her protests, he wins the bid and presents the book to her with a mischievous grin. Quinnie's annoyance gives way to a flustered gratitude that she struggles to mask. As the night concludes, the pair shares a quiet moment outside the estate, watching the city lights. Samuel's teasing demeanor softens as he remarks on Quinnie's ability to command a room despite her self-doubt. His words strike a chord, leaving Quinnie contemplating her insecurities and the walls she's built around her heart. With the gala behind them, Quinnie and Samuel dive into their next column installment. However, the increased stakes of their growing readership amplify the tension between them. Samuel suggests an unconventional date idea, visiting a graffiti alley to explore urban art and its stories. Quinnie is initially skeptical, worried it might not resonate with their audience, but she reluctantly agrees. The outing is far from smooth. Quinnie's meticulous planning clashes with Samuel's go-with-the-flow approach. While Samuel immerses himself in conversations with street artists, Quinnie struggles to connect, her discomfort evident. Frustrated, she accuses Samuel of prioritizing his artistic vision over the column's purpose. Samuel counters, pointing out that her rigidity stifles the authenticity that readers are drawn to. Their heated argument culminates in Quinnie storming off. Samuel follows, catching up to her in a quiet alley. In the tense silence, he hands her his camera, challenging her to see the world through his lens. Hesitant but intrigued, Quinnie accepts. As she captures candid moments of the vibrant street life, she begins to understand Samuel's perspective. The experience shifts something between them. By the end of the day, they find a compromise, blending Quinnie's structured storytelling with Samuel's raw, emotive photography. The resulting column installment becomes their most successful yet, praised for its authenticity and heart. As their professional relationship deepens, so does their personal connection. Samuel invites Quinnie to his studio, a converted loft filled with photographs from his travels. Quinnie is struck by the depth and emotion captured in his work. One particular photograph, a candid shot of a young boy playing in the rain, catches her eye. Samuel shares the story behind it, revealing a rare glimpse of vulnerability as he talks about the struggles of his own childhood. The conversation takes an introspective turn, with Samuel asking Quinnie about her own passions outside of work. She hesitates, realizing that her life has revolved so completely around her career that she's lost touch with her own dreams. Samuel's observation, that she's afraid of failure, hits closer to home than she's willing to admit. To lighten the mood, Samuel challenges her to a photography duel, giving her one of his cameras and setting her loose in the studio. Their playful banter fills the space, and for the first time, Quinnie feels a sense of freedom she hasn't experienced in years. That evening, as she reviews the photos they took together, Quinnie finds herself smiling. Unbeknownst to her, Samuel lingers on a particular shot he captured of her laughing, an image that he quietly sets aside as a personal favorite. The next column installment brings an unexpected challenge when Quinnie's boss suggests that they explore the theme of trust through a high-adrenaline activity. Samuel proposes skydiving, much to Quinnie's horror. Despite her fear of heights, she reluctantly agrees, determined to push her boundaries for the sake of the column. The day of the jump is a roller coaster of emotions. Quinnie's nerves are palpable as they ascend in the plane. Sensing her anxiety, Samuel offers quiet reassurance, sharing stories of times he's faced his own fears. His calm demeanor and unwavering support give Quinnie the courage to take the leap, both literally and figuratively. As they free-fall through the sky, Quinnie experiences an exhilaration unlike anything she's ever felt. The moment is transformative, breaking down a barrier within her. When they land, Samuel's elation mirrors her own, and for a brief moment, their embrace feels more intimate than professional. The column installment becomes a hit, resonating with readers who relate to the theme of overcoming fears. However, the experience leaves both Quinnie and Samuel grappling with the blurred lines of their relationship. While neither is ready to admit their feelings, the bond between them grows undeniably stronger, setting the stage for the challenges and revelations yet to come. The success of their column leads to an exciting opportunity. Their editor proposes a special feature focusing on relationship milestones. While Quinnie is thrilled by the recognition, she's caught off guard when the editor insists on including a proposal as part of the story. Samuel, ever the quick thinker, agrees without hesitation, leaving Quinnie to navigate the whirlwind of pretending to be a fiancé. The brainstorming begins, with Samuel suggesting they craft a proposal that's personal and unique. For inspiration, he takes Quinnie to a hidden garden he discovered during one of his photography outings. The place is enchanting, with vibrant blooms and twinkling fairy lights, and Quinnie can't help but be drawn to its charm. As they practice their proposal scene, the atmosphere becomes unexpectedly emotional. Samuel's mock proposal, though staged, feels disarmingly genuine, leaving Quinnie questioning the fine line between fiction and reality. The mock proposal becomes the centerpiece of their next column installment, sparking enthusiastic feedback from readers. Yet, for Quinnie, the experience leaves lingering doubts. Is their growing closeness merely a byproduct of their professional partnership, or is there something more profound beneath the surface? The column's growing popularity attracts attention, not all of it welcome. Quinnie's ex-boyfriend, Ethan, reappears in her life, claiming to want closure but clearly aiming for reconciliation. His presence stirs up unresolved feelings and a renewed sense of vulnerability in Quinnie. Samuel immediately picks up on Quinnie's unease when Ethan surprises her at their office. Protective instincts kick in as Samuel inserts himself into the situation, acting as a shield between Quinnie and her ex. The tension escalates during a double-booked dinner, where Ethan's pointed remarks about Quinnie's fake relationship provoke Samuel into a sharp retort. The encounter leaves Quinnie frustrated and conflicted. Samuel's protective actions feel genuine, yet she's unsure whether they stem from personal feelings or an obligation to maintain their column's authenticity. Meanwhile, Samuel wrestles with a simmering jealousy he's not ready to acknowledge, questioning why the idea of Quinnie with Ethan bothers him so deeply. Determined to lighten the mood, Samuel invites Quinnie to a masquerade ball hosted by a local nonprofit. The event is a glamorous affair, with attendees dressed in elaborate costumes and ornate masks. For the first time in years, Quinnie allows herself to let go, embracing the fantasy of the evening. As the night unfolds, the chemistry between Quinnie and Samuel becomes palpable. They share a dance under the glow of chandeliers, their movements synchronized as if they've known each other for years. Samuel, captivated by Quinnie's laughter and grace, finds himself lowering his emotional guard, while Quinnie starts to see Samuel not just as her partner in this charade, but as someone who genuinely understands and supports her. The moment is interrupted when Quinnie spots Ethan among the guests. Samuel quickly steps in, pulling her closer and whispering a plan to avoid confrontation. Their shared escape leads them to the rooftop terrace, where they share a candid conversation about their fears and aspirations. As they stand under the stars, the lines between their staged relationship and their true feelings blur further. The masquerade ball becomes a turning point, forcing both Quinnie and Samuel to confront their emotions. However, the complexity of their situation only grows when Samuel's longtime friend, Olivia, arrives in town. Olivia's easy rapport with Samuel triggers unexpected jealousy in Quinnie, who struggles to understand her reaction. The tension comes to a head during a team meeting, where Olivia joins as a guest contributor. Her anecdotes about Samuel's past reveal a side of him Quinnie hasn't seen before, one filled with unfulfilled dreams and personal sacrifices. While Olivia's presence stirs insecurities in Quinnie, it also sparks deeper conversations between her and Samuel about their respective fears of failure and rejection. In a candid moment, Samuel admits that his initial motivation for the column was purely professional, but working with Quinnie has made him realize the importance of vulnerability and connection. Quinnie, moved by his honesty, begins to lower her own defenses, admitting that she's enjoyed their partnership far more than she expected. As the chapter concludes, their partnership evolves from one of necessity to one of mutual trust and admiration. However, the challenges posed by their growing feelings and the inevitable conclusion of their staged relationship loom large, setting the stage for the emotional roller coaster yet to come. Quinnie is surprised when Samuel asks about her upcoming birthday. She's not one to make a fuss about it, but Samuel insists they celebrate, promising to make the day unforgettable. At first, she's reluctant, thinking of past birthdays overshadowed by her ex or work stress, but Samuel's enthusiasm eventually wins her over. Unbeknownst to Quinnie, Samuel begins planning a heartfelt surprise. He gathers input from her friends and co-workers, learning her favorite childhood activities and dishes. On her birthday, Samuel takes her to a quaint countryside village just outside the city. The town is alive with vibrant markets, street performers, and a cozy bistro where Samuel has reserved a private table. As the evening progresses, Samuel presents her with a scrapbook filled with moments from their column's journey, interspersed with candid photos of her smiling or caught in deep thought. Touched by his thoughtfulness, Quinnie realizes how much Samuel has come to mean to her. Later, under a canopy of string lights, Samuel hesitates, almost confessing his feelings, but he holds back, afraid of complicating their partnership. Quinnie senses the shift but brushes it aside, uncertain of her own emotions. The column's popularity continues to soar, but the added attention brings scrutiny. A well-known blogger publishes a critique questioning the authenticity of their relationship. The article circulates widely, and Quinnie and Samuel are forced to address the rumors publicly. Their editor proposes they appear on a live-streamed Q&A to counter the skepticism. While both agree, the pressure weighs heavily on Quinnie, who fears slipping up under the watchful eyes of their growing audience. Samuel, noticing her anxiety, steps in to rehearse potential questions with her. Their practice sessions turn into playful banter, easing her nerves and deepening their connection. During the live session, they expertly navigate the tricky questions, their chemistry, convincing even the harshest skeptics. However, one question catches them off guard. If your relationship is so perfect, why haven't you moved in together? Quinnie hesitates, but Samuel improvises, saying, "We've considered it, but we both value our independence too much right now." Behind the scenes, the conversation sparks a debate between them. Samuel questions whether they're overextending the lie, while Quinnie wrestles with her growing guilt. The tension culminates in a rare argument, leaving both questioning how far they're willing to take their charade and what it truly means to them. As if their argument wasn't enough, their next assignment requires them to attend a weekend retreat for couples at a remote beachside resort. The setting, meant to be romantic, feels anything but as Quinnie and Samuel try to navigate their unresolved tension. The first day of the retreat involves team-building activities designed to test communication and trust. While other couples thrive, Quinnie and Samuel struggle, their usual synchronicity disrupted by lingering frustration. Matters worsen when they're paired with an older couple who've been married for decades. Their mentor's insightful advice about compromise and vulnerability hits uncomfortably close to home, forcing Quinnie and Samuel to confront their issues. That night, a sudden thunderstorm traps everyone indoors. The intimate setting and the sound of rain create a reflective atmosphere. In their shared cabin, Samuel finally opens up about his fear of losing the trust they've built. Quinnie, in turn, admits that her hesitation stems from past heartbreak and her growing confusion about their dynamic. Their conversation, raw and honest, marks a turning point. Though no definitive solutions are reached, they agree to approach their partnership with more openness moving forward. The storm outside mirrors the emotional tempest within, but by morning, the skies and their outlook begin to clear. Upon returning to the city, they're greeted with unexpected news. Their editor has secured a TV deal to adapt their column into a miniseries. While the opportunity is exciting, it comes with a catch. The network requires them to publicly declare their relationship is real. The proposal puts them in a moral bind. For Samuel, the offer represents a chance to reach a wider audience and secure financial stability, but it also risks turning their private lives into a spectacle. For Quinnie, the thought of publicly living a lie, especially when her feelings for Samuel are becoming increasingly real, feels like a betrayal of herself and their readers. The tension escalates when Samuel runs into his estranged father during a charity event. His father, a powerful businessman, dismisses Samuel's career as frivolous, further fueling Samuel's insecurities. Quinnie, witnessing the encounter, steps in to defend Samuel, passionately arguing for the importance of authenticity in storytelling. Her support touches Samuel deeply, reaffirming his respect and admiration for her. Samuel proposing an alternative to their editor. Instead of focusing solely on their relationship, the miniseries could explore the broader themes of connection, vulnerability, and modern romance. While the network deliberates, Quinnie and Samuel find themselves more united than ever, their shared values strengthening their bond. The network finally agrees to Samuel's alternative pitch for the miniseries, emphasizing themes of love and modern relationships rather than focusing solely on their fabricated romance. However, the compromise comes with conditions. Samuel and Quinnie must still appear as a couple on screen, leading to more public exposure. Quinnie hesitates, her internal conflict growing. While she appreciates the creative opportunity, she fears the emotional toll of continuing their deception. Samuel, recognizing her unease, assures her that he'll support her decision regardless of the consequences. His words bring her some comfort, but the situation forces her to confront her feelings about him, which she's been suppressing. As production meetings begin, the tension between Quinnie and Samuel becomes palpable to their co-workers. Their editor notices and urges them to resolve their differences for the sake of the project. Left with no choice, Quinnie and Samuel decide to take a weekend retreat to clear the air and realign their focus. At a secluded lakeside cabin, Quinnie and Samuel find themselves alone with no distractions. Initially, they spend their time planning for the miniseries, but their conversations inevitably turn personal. Samuel opens up about his childhood and his strained relationship with his father, revealing that he always felt like a disappointment for pursuing creative passions instead of joining the family business. Quinnie listens intently, feeling an even deeper connection with him. She empathizes, sharing her own struggles with her perfectionist mother, who always belittled her career choices. As they bond, an unexpected moment arises. Samuel mentions his reluctance to enter relationships due to a previous heartbreak. His honesty resonates with Quinnie, who begins to see him not just as her work partner, but as someone who understands her vulnerabilities. In the warmth of the cabin, their playful banter gives way to deeper intimacy, and for a fleeting moment, they come dangerously close to kissing. Samuel pulls back, however, reminding himself of the professional line they cannot cross. Quinnie, left confused, wonders if the growing tension between them is worth jeopardizing their partnership. Back in the city, the miniseries project encounters a significant hurdle. The lead network producer insists on a dramatic subplot involving Quinnie and Samuel's relationship struggles. The demand puts pressure on them to appear as a picture-perfect couple in public to contrast with the scripted drama. As part of the promotion, they're invited to a prestigious gala where they must maintain their couple facade. Quinnie wears a stunning red gown, and Samuel can't hide his admiration. Throughout the evening, They dance and mingle, their chemistry so convincing that even they begin to question whether they're still pretending. The night takes an unexpected turn when Quinnie's ex-boyfriend, Marcus, appears at the event. Marcus, now an influential investor, approaches Quinnie under the pretense of reconciliation but quickly reveals his true intentions. He wants to publicly expose her fake relationship with Samuel. Samuel intervenes, subtly but firmly defending Quinnie. He pulls her aside and assures her that they'll face Marcus together. The confrontation leaves Quinnie shaken, but also touched by Samuel's unwavering support. After the gala, they share a quiet moment on Samuel's balcony, gazing at the city lights. Quinnie finally confesses that she's tired of the lies and wants to find a way to end their charade without ruining their careers. Samuel agrees, but his lingering feelings for her make the prospect of stepping away from their relationship even harder. The fallout from the gala forces Quinnie and Samuel to reassess their strategy. Meanwhile, Marcus's veiled threats of exposing their secret relationship spark rumors within the media. Their editor insists they release a public statement to control the narrative, leaving Quinnie and Samuel scrambling to draft the perfect response. At the same time, the first teaser for the miniseries is released, and their on-screen chemistry becomes a trending topic online. Fans are enamored, but the overwhelming attention adds pressure to their already fragile arrangement. Feeling cornered, Quinnie makes a bold decision. She suggests they publicly admit that their relationship started as a business arrangement but blossomed into something genuine. Samuel is taken aback but sees the logic in her plan. He agrees, knowing this could be their only way to salvage their careers without outright lying anymore. In a press conference, they deliver their carefully crafted statement. Quinnie speaks with sincerity, her emotions betraying the truth about her growing feelings for Samuel. As they leave the stage, Samuel catches her hand and whispers, "You didn't have to act. You were just being yourself." Later that night, Samuel surprises Quinnie with a heartfelt letter expressing his gratitude for her presence in his life. Touched, she begins to realize that their partnership, both professional and personal, might be something worth fighting for. Following their heartfelt press conference, Quinnie and Samuel find themselves thrust into the limelight as the public embraces their romance. The miniseries teaser goes viral, and their editor congratulates them on their authentic portrayal. However, Samuel notices a change in Quinnie. She seems more reserved, as if holding something back. Quinnie, overwhelmed by the public scrutiny and her own confusing emotions, immerses herself in work to avoid thinking about Samuel. But her resolve falters when Samuel unexpectedly visits her apartment to check on her. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Quinnie confesses how exhausting it is to live under constant public judgment and the fear of being exposed. Samuel reassures her, saying, "You've been stronger than anyone I know, but you don't have to carry this alone." His words strike a chord, and for the first time, Quinnie allows herself to lean on him emotionally. As they prepare for the miniseries' first official promotional event, their dynamic shifts. Their interactions feel more genuine, their laughter unforced. The line between their professional partnership and personal connection blurs even further, leaving both of them questioning whether their feelings are real or just a product of their shared circumstances. The promotional event is a roaring success, with fans and the media raving about Samuel and Quinnie's chemistry. However, the evening takes a dramatic turn when Quinnie's mother, who has always been critical of her career, unexpectedly shows up. Quinnie's mother, Lillian, wastes no time criticizing her life choices in front of Samuel, belittling her achievements and calling the relationship a desperate PR stunt. Samuel steps in, politely but firmly defending Quinnie. Quinnie has built her career with integrity and hard work. "You should be proud of her, not tearing her down," he says, silencing Lillian. The confrontation leaves Quinnie shaken, but grateful for Samuel's support. That night, Samuel reveals his own struggles with parental expectations, sharing how he always felt like a disappointment to his father. Their shared experiences bring them closer, and for the first time, Quinnie begins to see Samuel as more than just a colleague or partner in their ruse. Meanwhile, Marcus, Quinnie's ex-boyfriend, continues to stir trouble behind the scenes. He leaks private photos of Quinnie and Samuel from the gala, insinuating that their relationship is a sham. The photos spread like wildfire, and their editor demands immediate damage control. With their reputations on the line, Samuel and Quinnie decide to confront Marcus directly. They arrange a meeting with him at a high-profile restaurant, where Marcus smugly admits to leaking the photos, claiming he's doing it to save Quinnie from ruining her career with Samuel. Quinnie, finally fed up with Marcus's manipulation, stands up to him. "You don't get to dictate my life or my choices. What Samuel and I have is none of your business," she says, her voice firm and unwavering. Samuel backs her up, warning Marcus to stay out of their lives. As they leave the restaurant, Samuel takes Quinnie's hand, a gesture of solidarity and comfort. The moment is captured by paparazzi, further fueling speculation about their relationship. Back at Samuel's apartment, they strategize how to handle the media fallout. During their conversation, Samuel opens up about his growing feelings for Quinnie, admitting that what started as an arrangement has become something much more real for him. Quinnie, caught off guard, doesn't know how to respond, her own feelings a confusing mix of fear and hope. The next day, Samuel proposes a bold idea. They should go public with their relationship, not as a fabricated story for the media, but as something real. "If we're going to be in this together, let's do it honestly," he says. Quinnie hesitates, worried about the potential consequences for their careers and their personal lives. But Samuel's sincerity and willingness to take the risk for her slowly chip away at her doubts. Meanwhile, the first episode of their miniseries airs, and it's an instant hit. Fans flood social media with praise for their performances and their undeniable chemistry. The positive reception gives Quinnie a newfound confidence, and she begins to consider Samuel's proposition more seriously. In a poignant moment at the end of the chapter, Quinnie meets Samuel at the rooftop of their office building. She looks him in the eyes and says, "If we're going to do this, let's do it right. No more lies, no more pretending." Samuel smiles, taking her hand as the city lights twinkle around them. With Quinnie's decision to give their relationship a real chance, Samuel feels a renewed sense of purpose. Their honesty with each other sparks an emotional intimacy that they both embrace cautiously but willingly. As they navigate their new dynamic, they find themselves growing closer, not just as colleagues or partners in a PR arrangement, but as two people genuinely learning to love and trust each other. Their happiness, however, is short-lived when Marcus strikes again. This time, he leaks an edited recording of Samuel's earlier conversations with Quinnie, making it seem like their relationship was nothing more than a calculated ploy to boost their careers. The recording spreads like wildfire, turning public sentiment against them and jeopardizing their miniseries and reputations. Quinnie, heartbroken and angry, questions Samuel's sincerity. "Was it all just a game to you? Did any of this mean anything?" she asks, tears in her eyes. Samuel pleads with her, explaining the context of the recording and insisting that his feelings are real. "I never expected this to happen, but you changed everything for me, Quinnie. I need you to believe me," he says earnestly. Despite her lingering doubts, Quinnie decides to investigate the matter herself, determined to uncover the truth about Marcus's manipulation. She enlists the help of their editor and a trusted IT specialist to trace the source of the recording. The investigation confirms that Marcus not only edited the recording, but also hired people to spread it across social media platforms. Armed with this evidence, Quinnie confronts Marcus in a heated showdown. "I've let you walk over me for far too long, but this ends now," Quinnie declares, her voice steady despite the storm brewing inside her. "You're done sabotaging my life." Marcus, caught off guard by her strength and determination, tries to play the victim, claiming he acted out of concern for her. But Quinnie stands her ground, ensuring he understands the gravity of his actions. With the evidence in hand, she and Samuel release a public statement exposing Marcus's lies, clearing their names. While the statement garners mixed reactions, many fans rally behind them, praising their courage to speak out. The ordeal, though exhausting, becomes a turning point for Quinnie and Samuel. The adversity strengthens their bond, and they realize that facing challenges together makes them stronger. That evening, Samuel surprises Quinnie with a heartfelt gesture. A quiet dinner on a rooftop, where he confesses his love for her. "I've loved you for longer than I realized, Quinnie, and I'll keep fighting for us, no matter what," he says. Quinnie, moved by his sincerity, admits that she's fallen for him too. As their personal lives stabilize, their miniseries continues to gain popularity. The chemistry between Samuel and Quinnie translates beautifully on screen, captivating audiences and earning critical acclaim. Their editor praises them for their resilience and professionalism, hinting at future collaborative opportunities. However, not everyone is pleased with their success. An anonymous investor threatens to pull funding from the project unless Samuel steps down, citing the earlier controversy. Samuel, unwilling to jeopardize the series or Quinnie's career, considers stepping back. When Quinnie learns about the ultimatum, she refuses to let Samuel sacrifice his role. "We've come this far together, and we'll finish this together," she insists. She proposes a meeting with the investor to address their concerns and advocate for Samuel's value to the project. At the meeting, Quinnie's impassioned plea and the overwhelming positive audience response convince the investor to reconsider. Samuel is allowed to stay, and the incident further solidifies their partnership. With the final episodes of the miniseries completed, Samuel and Quinnie attend the premiere together. The event is a resounding success, with critics praising their performances and fans celebrating their authentic connection both on and off-screen. During the after-party, Samuel surprises Quinnie with a small but meaningful gift, a bracelet engraved with the words, "Our story, our way." Touched by the gesture, Quinnie realizes how much Samuel has become a part of her life and her heart. As they stand together under the dazzling lights of the event, Samuel takes her hand and asks, "What's next for us, Quinnie?" She smiles, her eyes sparkling with hope and determination. "Whatever we want it to be. This is just the beginning." In the final scene of the chapter, Samuel and Quinnie walk away from the glitz and glamour, hand in hand, ready to face whatever challenges the future holds. The success of the miniseries cements Samuel and Quinnie's status as an iconic duo, both professionally and personally. However, their newfound stability is soon tested by an unexpected revelation. A tabloid exposes a rumor that Samuel has a hidden past involving a former fiancée, Eliza, who claims to still have feelings for him. Quinnie is taken aback by the news, especially since Samuel never mentioned this part of his life. When confronted, Samuel admits that Eliza was once an important part of his past, but their relationship ended years ago. "It wasn't something I wanted to relive, Quinnie," he explains. "She left me when I needed her the most, and I didn't think it mattered anymore, until now." Eliza's sudden reappearance throws their relationship into turmoil. She requests a meeting with Samuel, claiming she wants closure. Quinnie hesitates but eventually encourages Samuel to meet her, believing that confronting the past is essential for their future together. During the meeting, Eliza reveals her regret over leaving Samuel and expresses a desire to rekindle their relationship. However, Samuel firmly rejects her advances, stating, "What we had is in the past. I've moved on, and I'm happy with Quinnie." Meanwhile, Quinnie faces her own challenges. An influential producer offers her a solo project, a leading role in a high-profile drama, but it requires her to relocate for 6 months. The offer excites her, but she worries about how it will impact her relationship with Samuel. As the rumors about Samuel and Eliza die down, Samuel turns his attention to Quinnie's dilemma. Over a quiet dinner, she shares her fears about leaving and the strain it might place on their relationship. Samuel surprises her by being supportive. "You've worked so hard to get here, Quinnie," he says with a reassuring smile. "This is your dream. I won't let anything hold you back, not even us. We'll make it work." Samuel's encouragement strengthens Quinnie's resolve, and she accepts the role. As the months leading to her departure unfold, the couple makes the most of their time together, creating memories and solidifying their bond. On Quinnie's last day before leaving, Samuel surprises her with a heartfelt gesture. He organizes a private rooftop dinner under the stars, recreating their first romantic moment. As they dance under the moonlight, Samuel hands her a small journal filled with handwritten notes, each one a promise for their future. "You've taught me what it means to love, Quinnie," he says, his voice steady with emotion. "And I'll be here, waiting for you, no matter how far you go." Quinnie, moved to tears, kisses him and whispers, "You're my home, Samuel. No distance will ever change that." As Quinnie boards her flight the next day, she looks out of the window, clutching the journal tightly. Though bittersweet, her departure marks the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with hope, growth, and unwavering love. Months later, Quinnie returns after completing her project, greeted by Samuel at the airport with a bouquet of her favorite flowers. The time apart has only strengthened their connection, and they pick up right where they left off. Samuel surprises Quinnie with an engagement ring, proposing to her in the very place they first met, the bustling studio where their love story began. "Our love has faced its challenges, but I know now that you're the one I want by my side forever," he says. Quinnie, overwhelmed with joy, says yes, sealing their journey with a kiss. The couple's story comes full circle, proving that love built on trust, resilience, and understanding can withstand anything life throws their way. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the story. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more delightful stories.